Gentlemen, Ash here. Welcome back to Gents. Hope that you're doing well. Today I am sharing with you guys 10 different designer fragrances that women can't get enough of. Big compliment pullers, attention grabbers, fragrances that really have mass appeal at the forefront. Like that's what these were made for. And it's a good mix. We've got some that are more for spring, summer, some more for fall, winter. So we've got fresher fragrances and warm fragrances as well. All of these I'm gonna have linked down in the description below. Feel free to check them out down there. I just have like some NWO wrestling flashback. We won't go there. But yeah, they're all gonna be linked down there in the description. Let's just go ahead and get started. This is in no particular order, so the first one is not the best or the worst one of the bunch. I just bruised my hand. I'm made of cotton. Yeah. We're gonna kick things off with Eau de Parfum from Yves Saint Laurent. Now this is very pricey at full retail. So I would suggest with this fragrance and the other ones, if you want to save a little money, as always, shop at discounters because this one especially is much cheaper at a discounter as compared to full retail. So how pricey, you might ask? Well, at full retail, this is gonna run you about $190 for this size bottle right here, 100 milliliters. At discounters, you can get it for less than half that. Yeah, you can often find this for about 90 for a 100 ml size bottle. So like I said, expensive, but you can find it cheaper, even if cheaper is still not cheap. So how does Eau de Parfum smell? Well, similar in ways to Eau de Parfum, but a little more elegant, a little more sophisticated, slightly more grown up. Still has that mass appeal though, still has that compliment factor, great performance as well. So you have in here lavender and sage, along with apple, ginger, some aldehydes off the top, tonka in the base, giving you some nice sweetness and warmth. You've also got in there woods, geranium, olibanum. It's really a year-round fragrance, daytime or nighttime, so huge versatility with this one. Do be aware though, because it has some of that Eau de Parfum DNA in here, some of that sweetness still obviously in here as well, that if you go really heavy in summer, this could be overwhelming. It could be off-putting, and then instead of having a fragrance that draws attention, that gets you positive compliments, you've got something that repels people and pushes them away, while at the same time gives you a raging headache, and then your head just explodes like you're in the movie Scanners. You don't want that, so make sure if you wear this in summer that you dial it down a little bit. But Eau de Parfum, amazing fragrance for compliments and a very versatile one that can be used in any situation. Let's go next with Gentleman Society. Yeah, Gentleman Society. This one has a new flanker that just came out that introduces a little bit of an iced coffee accord. That one is good also, but we're gonna stick with the OG here. So when this one came out, people were questioning what was up with the iris, because iris was the focal point of the Gentleman fragrances up until this point, and here it was swapped out for Narcissus. Now when I smell this, I still get a little bit of an iris aspect to the scent. I think it's still there, just kind of lurking in the background. And with the flanker that came out of this one, iris is an official note there. So I think that it's here too. They just didn't want to advertise it quite so much. That said, it's really fresh. You don't have that makeup-y aspect that some people don't really like. You have cardamom off the top here, along with sage as well. Then as it dries down, you get vetiver, vanilla, and some Palo Santo that comes out. So nice, sweet, and woody, along with that additionally sweet floral aspect that it has. Very appealing, and once again, extremely versatile. You can wear this stuff about anywhere, and for more people actually, this may be more of a compliment puller than something like Gentleman Eau de Parfum. Though if you're like me, maybe you prefer the Eau de Parfum because of that ramped up iris, but still. If we're just talking people in general, there's a lot of mass appeal here, big compliment puller. Now, where this is on the newer side of things, it's not discounted all that heavily. You can find it for about $100 at discounters. That is cheaper than at full retail, but once again, not really cheap. Actually, I'm looking through all the fragrances that I picked. Not much cheap here, no. Sorry about that. Maybe I'll do a cheap version of this later on. Okay, next up, we're going with this Pache de Cartier Parfum. Now, this one is going to be more for guys middle-aged and older. Younger guys, I don't think are going to be wanting to wear this one quite as much as, you know, these or some of the other ones we're going to talk about here in a second. So why is it that this one is more for guys middle-aged and older? Well, it's got a bit of that barbershop feel to it from the original Pacha de Cartier that carries over into this one. This one is richer, it's bolder, it's not quite as sharp, and it has more of a sweetness to it and a warmth to it that makes it a much better modern fragrance for a lot of guys, but still yet where it has that original Pacha de Cartier DNA in here, that is going to make it trend a little bit more older. It smells like $1,000,000. Like, this smells like something somebody with money would wear. So if you want something like that, something that's going to project that kind of feeling, this would be a great choice. Really nice office fragrance, evening fragrance, formal fragrance, and this one is gonna be more for fall and winter time. Note-wise with this one, you're gonna be looking at sandalwood, boozy notes, balsam fir, benzoin, tonka, and labdanum, along with a little bit of patchouli in here as well. All right, let's keep it moving. Next up, I'm gonna go with Burberry Hero Eau de Parfum. Now, this line does not always get a ton of love, but I'm here to tell you that the Eau de Parfum version of Burberry Hero actually smells really good and is exceptional at pulling positive attention and compliments. This stuff is really well done. And the cap, come on. It has a tiny magnet inside it, and that automatically makes it better. Ooh, could be stronger though. Ooh, put a magnet in your cap, automatically bumps the smell of the fragrance up 1 point, 1 whole point. So this one has benzoin, olibanum, pine needles, incense, and cedar. 3 different types of cedar, actually. And I do feel like, as of now, that the Eau de Parfum is the best in the line. They did just come out with a Parfum version of this. The opening of the Parfum is a little iffy. I think for a lot of people, the opening of that one is not gonna work super well. Starts to smell a lot better as it dries down, but the opening, a little weird. The Eau de Toilette, really versatile, very versatile, but this one I think is just more interesting, more appealing, a little bit more complex, just nicer to smell overall. So with this one, you get a nice warmth, a touch of that incense, a little tiny bit of smokiness. The sweetness is rich, slightly balsamic, melds very well with the cedar that's in here, with the woodiness that's in here. It just takes the DNA of the fragrance, just bumps it up a notch, just really elevates the whole thing. Hero Eau de Parfum is great stuff. And it is really popular, actually, a good seller in the US. After that, let's go blue with Lunar Rosa Ocean Eau de Parfum. And in case you were unaware of where Prada's thoughts are right now with their men's fragrances, they have just announced a new Lunar Rosa Ocean Le Parfum. Yeah, for better or worse, right now Prada is really leaning into Lunar Rosa Ocean. Now, we could sit here and talk and rant and rave forever about what Prada should do, what they have done, talk about the amber fragrances that they had, infusion fragrances, Prada L'Homme, some of the other Lunar Rosa fragrances, but right now, obviously, they feel like they've got a good thing going, Lunar Rosa Ocean, and that's what they're rolling with. And to be fair, this list is about men's fragrances that are easy to wear and that other people very much enjoy. And so that's why Lunar Rosa Ocean is being featured here, because that's what it is. It's a very easy wearing fragrance. Another one that really you could wear year round, daytime or nighttime, that people love, that draws that attention. You know, it has that kind of magnetic feel to it. So you have a good amount of vanilla in here, and there's gonna be a little more vanilla coming up. Vanilla is in a lot of men's fragrances right now in a big way. Actually, we've already had some vanilla over here. So yeah, vanilla, you have woody notes in here, a little touch of citrus off the top, grapefruit specifically. Then you have frankincense and amber extreme. This is a Prada blue fragrance through and through. By that I mean it's quite clean, decently classy, a little touch of powder to it, not overwhelmingly so. And this one, for a blue fragrance, has pretty good longevity as well. Sticks on your skin for a good amount of time, doesn't project like a beast, but it lasts. So Lunar Rosa Ocean, I'm gonna put that one right there. And let's keep it blue with the next one, Bleu de Chanel Parfum. And this one, once again, magnetic cap, but I gotta say, step up, okay? Because check this, this has the magnetic cap where you turn it, it pops up. Again, this does not matter whatsoever, but gotta work on that Burberry. Ooh, look at that, that's a strong magnet. Ooh, that's a strong magnet. Okay, enough of that. You may think to yourself, surely there's not another fragrance with a magnet in this list. You would be wrong. There is none. We'll see in a second. This stuff is really, really top notch. I've got to say, when I initially smelled Bleu de Chanel Parfum, I was not amazed. I was like, I wish that they did a little more with it. But then as time went on and I smelled it more, I was like, oh, I was totally wrong. This stuff is awesome. So what's the deal with this one? Well, it has lemon zest off the top, along with bergamot, kind of a citrus combo, actually, when you first spray this on. You have mint in there, lavender, woody notes underneath, sandalwood, cedar, for example. And you have a little tonka in there as well, but it's not heavy, the tonka. You know, this is not a fragrance where they load it down, just make it super sweet. No, they keep it pretty elegant. A little aromatic in there as well. So you have a great citrus opening that grabs people's attention right off the bat. Then you have lavender in there, giving it a classically masculine touch. A little green around the edges, again, keeping it very fresh. But then you have a distinctly woody base that gives it push, that gives it staying power, even a little zing from the woodiness, the way that it melds together with the residual notes from the opening in the mid. Really fantastic stuff, great quality, and another one that you can use year-round. Frankly, most of these are actually year-round scents. Maybe they lean a little bit toward fall and winter, or a little bit toward spring, summer, but you can wear these all year. Yeah, pretty much all of them. All right, except for this next one. It leans more fall, winter, and I don't know that I'd wear this during summer, even though I love it. It is Victory Elixir from Paco Rabanne, Invictus Victory Elixir. Remember what I said about vanilla, how popular it is? Yeah, there's a good amount of it in here, boys. You gotta like vanilla, otherwise you're not gonna like this. So it also has in here tonka, incense, lavender, and cardamom as some of the other notes in the scent. Oof, it smells so good. I love the way this stuff smells. It projects, it lasts, has great performance, massive attention grabber. To me, this is the best Invictus, which I know to some people is gonna be sacrilege because it doesn't actually smell like what Invictus used to be. This happens from time to time with fragrances, but Invictus has almost been hijacked because it started, you know, with the original and with this kind of fresh but very bubblegummy sweet scent profile, very youthful. And it kind of kept in that vein for quite a while. You know, you had different flankers that came out like Aqua or Legend or Intense, but it still could be tied back to the OG. And then they started to go a different direction. And with Victory and Victory Elixir, it's definitely not anything like the original, other than it's still sweet, just in a different way. And it's still in a trophy bottle. So I guess that's similar. So some people are gonna be like, nah, man, this is not, it's not what Invictus was. It's not what is it? But for me, I'm like, I wanna eat it. It smells good. So Invictus Victory Elixir, I love this stuff. If you like vanilla, you have to check it out. Remember what I said about magnets? Here's another one. Armani Code Parfum. They gave this one a magnet. The Eau de Toilette, though, is not fancy enough to have a magnetic cap. It has just a normal lame cap. And this one does the little twisty thing too. But it's not a super strong magnet, no. So you have here tonka, which is going to tie it in with the original Armani Code, but then you have iris as well. There's also in here bergamot, clary sage, a bit of cedar, but that iris is what's going to make it or break it with this scent for you. I love iris in pretty much any form, shape, facet, smell, whatever. I like it. And so I like it here as well. Gives you a little soapy touch, a little powdery, clean. Actually, when you first spray this on, it is surprisingly fresh. It has a great green aspect to it, a very uplifting, you know, sunshiny kind of feel when you first hit that one. And it's kind of a surprise because Armani Code, the original, not really well known for having a big fresh blast. And then this is the Parfum version, so you think it's gonna be dark, heavy, mysterious, brooding. And then you spray it on and you're like, oh, okay. Clean, slightly soapy iris, slightly powdery green, refreshing, like you just stepped outside with clean clothes on. It's like, everything's right in the world, man. As it dries down, it gets a little bit darker, sure, a little bit warmer, sweeter with the tonka, the cedar that comes out, but initially very, very fresh, which is actually a good thing, I feel like, because it gives this more usability, more versatility, and becomes a year-round fragrance. So Armani Code, really, really like this one. Armani Code Parfum, excuse me, and a great choice here. Ooh, this one, I don't know about summer. Boss Bottled Elixir. Of course, we could go with Sauvage Elixir as well, but I'm going Boss Bottled here. Give it a little more shine, a little shine to Bottled Elixir for what they did here. Hugo Boss releasing some good stuff with this. You know, when a brand comes out with something and they take a little swing and they drop something that's really nice, you got to applaud that. You don't want them to go back to just releasing absolute freaking garbage, you know. Hugo Boss, I'm proud of you. You did good. So what are the notes here? Well, it has frankincense, cardamom, patchouli, vetiver, labdanum, and a little bit of cedar in there as well. So looking at that note breakdown, you can see that it's a very woody scent profile, spicy as well. Kind of a fresh spicy that turns into warm, spicy, woody, masculine, with a little throwback touch to it. The labdanum gives it a bit of sweetness, but it does not go overboard, somewhat like Sauvage Elixir in the way that it is approached. Now, I'm not saying this smells like Sauvage Elixir, but it is done in a similar mindset. So when you smell this, you would think, oh yeah, I would wear that in the same times, same places that I would wear Sauvage Elixir. And whereas I was talking before that a lot of these are year-round, this one I don't think so. This one fall and winter time, middle of summer, you wear that. I don't know, dude. I would question your sanity. I would be like, you didn't have a better choice out of anything? That was okay. Yeah, you smell great. Last but not least, this one is year-round. It is Valentino Wo Born in Roma Coral Fantasy. Coral Fantasy. Coral. The Walking Dead. The Talking Bread. Oh, that's good. That's good. It's one of those ones, you go a little bit without smelling it, you go back to it and you go, where have you been all my life? Oh wait, no, I've owned you for a while. I keep not wearing it. That's on me. Fantastic opening. Really attention grabbing. Just the right amount of juicy, fruity sweetness. Almost bursts that fruit. It's like an apple that you bit into and you know it just and like little particles of, that sounds really bad, of apple juice fly in all directions. It's very fresh and crisp. That's how that one is when you first smell it. So you get that opening that leads you in. That's a very important part of designer fragrances, especially if we're talking ones for mass appeal. You want an opening that when you first spray it on, like I just did, I'll do it again, where you spray it and you go, wow, that's what you want. With designer fragrances, most of the time, you know, it's gonna be a normal person, average person, buying them, wearing them, smelling them, and you want something that just immediately grabs somebody's attention. You don't want it to be something where you smell it and you go, oh, that's kind of awful. You know, it turns my stomach a bit. You don't want to have to come in and be like, well, wait a second. If you give it 30 minutes to dry down, it'll smell good, like amazing after that. Because your average person is going to be like, no, dude, there's 99 other fragrances here that smell great in the opening and the dry down, where I don't have to wait. So no thanks. So I think with the designer fragrance, if you don't nail the opening, you are at a big disadvantage because there are a lot of fragrances out there that did nail the opening. So anyway, this one nails the opening, smells great, leads you in immediately. And as it dries down, that fruit, it starts to step away. You get tobacco that comes up. Along with lavender and geranium, classic combo, works together very well in masculine fragrances. The tobacco is a little bit sweet, but not overly so. Then you have some woodiness in there as well. Patchouli, vetiver, stuff smells fantastic from opening to dry down. Big compliment puller, year-round fragrance, easily daytime or nighttime. So Coral Fantasy, wrapping this one up, those 10 right there, that is a murderer's row. Each one of these is just a fragrance that people, by and large, love. I want to thank you guys for hanging with me here today. Stay safe out there, guys. I'll see you tomorrow with another fragrance video. See you guys later.